Yeah, so the workshop's been tremendous. I've really enjoyed meeting all different people and the kind of stakeholders that are there in the room. So it's a tremendous room and incredible talents that were represented in today's session. So it's been a great workshop. So my role is to try to help corporations think about how they report on either their financial or non-financial issues, and that's the very tactical of actually doing the report, which is kind of the end of the process. And but interestingly, what I've been learning quite a bit about is how much integrated reporting is driven into the beginning of the process and thinking about potential frameworks as well as the impact on management and how that affects decision making with management, and then drawing through operations, and then finally the output in terms of an integrated report. So the picture continues to grow, and to some degree the complexity at the same time. But the opportunity for corporations is obviously quite wonderful, because it kind of takes them to a new shift in the way that they talk to stakeholders instead of just investors around financial information. So I think there are many challenges, and the thing that is so prevalent today is that there's a lack of understanding about what non-financial information is actually all about. Mm-hmm. And so since managers and business people really don't have a clear view into that, and it's kind of often a corner being done as corporate sustainability kind of efforts, there is not a great deal of awareness of how integrated reporting can actually be a part of the entire process. And so getting other managers, and a lot of the people I work with are corporate communications people who have to tell that story, and so their ability to get their CEO, CFO, and all kind of level one executives, the C-suite, to the table talking about this is one, quite difficult. But then even their peers, their director, peer level folks within companies, getting them to the table is extremely hard. And so that's complicating the issue, because there's not a great deal of understanding around the value of reporting on non-financial information. I think people are quite clear about financial information, but the other part of the equation is still something of an unknown. So there's a lot of education in that process, and that's most of the work that we're doing these days, is trying to create awareness and understanding and kind of walk people up to what integrated reporting is all about. So there aren't many companies who've done this in the U.S., more so in Europe and other markets. But the the thing that I'm quite interested in, and within our firm, a lot of people are beginning to think about sort of two things. One is how integrated reporting can serve as a proof point for corporate reputation. And if you're serious about managing your corporate reputation and actually having to be grounded in something meaningful and substantive, the integrated report is probably the most elegant solution to being able to provide some substance in the corporate reputation debate. And so if a company is really interested in advancing their corporate reputation, sort of building up equities with a variety of stakeholders, including investors, the integrated report is a wonderful tool for being able to do that. When it comes to branding, one of the things that we think is, and it's not a lot of evidence in the market yet, but there was a recent study done by Edelman that basically from 2009 to 2010, financial results actually moved to the bottom of the list for importance in terms of how consumers were viewing a particular company. So the quality of the products wasn't even on the top of the list. What was actually at the top of the list is to what degree they are transparent and can be trusted as a company. So there's been, in a very compressed period of time, a complete consumer shift on what's important to them and what's driving consumer preference and loyalty and choice and all those kinds of things. So at a branding level, how is ESG factors as well as financial beginning to impact what a corporate brand is all about? And so we are beginning to explore how those factors are beginning to play out in corporate branding, and then in correlation to how an integrated report, which incorporates ESG kinds of factors, can be provided to kind of, again, support what companies want to say to consumer audiences as well as other stakeholders. So one of the things that's been asked around the room is kind of what's our personal commitment. And so our commitment as a company is to really try to provide leadership in the brand consulting world as well as corporate communications to really build awareness amongst business leaders as to what's the value of integrated reporting. So I think this workshop is an incredible first step to get this group of people together and start the dialogue, and hopefully that dialogue will begin to spread and business leaders begin to hear about what's the value of doing integrated reporting.
Great.